All right. So we are live now. Sorry. Took a moment for it to update here. So, welcome to another Dave and Brian Live. Today we're going to be streaming on a Saturday. At least it's Saturday here. I don't know where it is where you are.
Should be Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night! Oh.
But it's probably Sunday in some parts of the world.
Sunday.
So, yeah.
But Sunday morning is pretty easy, right?
I don't know. I mean, easy like what?
Easy like Sunday morning.
Like waffles?
I guess. Why not?
Because?
Hello, everybody.
Hi. So, hopefully I don't know if this will work out better for people. It's usually tough for us, but we just wanted to try it. And we're starting a little bit earlier than normal, which is 2 o'clock our time. And wanted to start off with, hey, from
hey.
Ben Brandy.
Hey, Brandy.
As I stumble over your name, sorry.
Saturday is normally a bad day for me, but today I have special circumstances.
Yep, we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I just wanted to remind everybody about my Pateron account. I don't believe that just happened. I guess I'll just look at my phone. This mirroring just shut off. Great. So I am wondering. I'm apparently I'm not doing something right because I only have 2, which is nice. And thank you for the 2 patrons I have. I know a lot of people are more successful. I guess I need to start offering more things. So I'd like to know what you would like to see as a reward. The balance is I have to make sure it's something I can sustainably do. I don't want to offer something and then get busy or whatever reason, and maybe I can't deliver 1 month, and then you paid for it and you're not getting it. So, unfortunately, I don't know if we have much more to say about Halloween Horror Nights that we haven't said recently. Do you know anything else?
We have a couple things. I mean, if you haven't seen the videos, we got a few things to talk about, but...
Yeah. I did go to Universal yesterday to look at some new things around the park. There's some really cool stuff in the Chucky Scare Zone that we can talk about. There's a few things in the Chucky Scare Zone that we can talk about that I saw when I was walking home yesterday. Which, if you want to, you can walk to a spot where you can see it and not being back of house. But being it's still back of house, we can't talk about it. This guy knows where he is in his house, but we can't reveal that because it's going to be a spoiler for the house. But
I could at least reveal my house, because my house has been announced.
And the house is?
Slaughter Cinema!
Ooh.
That's one of the houses I was actually looking forward to before I found out I was in it.
Yeah.
I like the concept of the house. It's a bunch of old, bad 80s horror movies, like, the B-movie stuff.
Yeah.
If you're old enough to have seen USA Up all night, you would have maybe seen some of that. Or maybe if you ever browse fear.net or seen any of some of the sci-fi bad movies that late at night, something like that, or what was it? Billy Bob's drive-in movies, something like that. Yeah, the Beast Baby.
Hey, Dan.
I'm in Slaughter Cinema. I just can't say where in Slaughter Cinema because the Beast Baby was announced, Pumpkin Guts was announced to the public, and the Amazon Cannibals. But there's a lot more to that house that I can't talk about right now.
Yeah, that's not the one with Easter eggs. I mean, they all have Easter eggs, but I think it was one of the. I forget which one it is. There's one of them that has a lot of Easter eggs because it's the original house.
Actually, my house does have a lot of Easter eggs.
It might be the one I'm thinking.
But not necessarily what you're thinking.
One of the houses has a bunch of Easter eggs for other Halloween Horror Nights houses that are original. So like I mentioned before, there's some stand, like a drink stand that sells a drink called the Lightning Gulp, which is a combination of the Big Gulp from 7-Eleven and Lightning Gulch. But I forgot.
I don't think that's mine.
I think that's the one in one of the parade barns.
Yeah, I don't think that's mine.
So, The Purge is back again. We won't know yet about how much we said last time. How much of the house is going to be The Purge? I hope it's going to be a good balance, and Happy Death Day, which I didn't realize for a long time that the Happy Death Day is supposed to be icing on a cake. That's why the font looks like it does.
Oh, yeah.
Because when you look at it, it's like, oh, of course, that would be the perfect font to use for it, because it's about birthdays.
Yeah. I don't know, because I'm not in the Blumhouse house, but based on what I think they're going to do, I think the Purge section is going to be really neat looking.
Yeah. So...
Wait, why is it Happy Death Day Sad Face?
I don't know.
Dan, did you not like Happy Death Day?
Maybe Dan was upset because he didn't see it in theaters either.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I wanted to see it, but I never got a chance. It's kind of Groundhog Day except murder.
Yeah.
It's
like a murder mystery, I think.
It's this one lady, and she keeps getting killed, and she's trying to figure out when she dies. She just wakes up again that morning, and she's Oh,
you didn't like it?
Yeah. So I guess he's not looking forward to the Happy Death Day section.
Oh. Well, thankfully it's only half a house and half of one house of 10 houses.
Yeah.
So
and
maybe run through that part.
And Dan, if you didn't like the Purge movies, you might just want to skip Blumhouse, because I mean that's all it is.
And they might do something cool with it that you like. Who knows?
Yeah, sure.
Because it's their interpretation. I mean, it is of course Blumhouse, so it's intellectual property. So they have to go by what the owners of the IP want, but they're going to do as much as they can with their own stuff, which is one of the reasons why original houses are great, because whatever they want to do, it's their house, so they just do it.
Well, then you should like at least some of the Blumhouse.
Did you like the Purge? Do you like the Purge just in general, or is it because it's based on the latest Purge, which is the first Purge, but not the first movie? Kind of the Star Wars thing of the first three movies aren't the first three movies, but they are the first three movies, but they're not the first three movies. And then there's a whole Zelda 2. Isn't that Zelda 2? And yeah. So
now, what Fenella Brandon said she's got a bunch of movies to watch before Horror Nights.
You do too.
Yeah.
Or did you finally watch Happy Death Day?
No, I still haven't seen that. I'm wondering why. Well, actually, I kind of know, but I'm a little bit disappointed that they skipped Halloween 3. Because the first Halloween we had was based on...
Is that because there's no...
Michael Myers.
Yeah. Is that because there's no Jason?
We went to...
I'm not wrong. Jason's not in the movie.
Yeah, you're right about that. We went to a character dining back in...
We talked about it last time, but just in case you missed it, really quickly.
So... it was for 26, right? No, it was 25.
Yeah, we can go for 26.
So 25, Halloween Horror Nights 25, we went to this character dining. So it was Chance, Michael Myers, and...
There's a few others that were not as memorable. I think there were some characters from like the Scare Zones. I forget the other ones, but of course,
I feel bad
everyone was overshadowed by Chance.
Yeah, Chance was the one who was speaking, and
Yeah.
she was just going 110%. Michael Myers does not talk, so he has to communicate other ways. So somebody was at another table and said, "Hey, look, it's Jason." That's not Jason. So he kicked a chair out of the way and went over and like raised his knife, and it was pretty funny. And so, Phenomenal Brandy. So the first Halloween house we ever had was based on the first Halloween movie. The second Halloween house we had was based on Halloween 2. Now, this is year 3 of Halloween for Horror Nights. And you think, okay, let's go for Halloween 3. But, even though the movie has an audience now, it was poorly received when it came out. The idea was, alright, Michael Myers is dead. Let's keep him dead. Let's actually keep him dead. And what we're going
to... People complaining about the Avengers were like, even if a character dies, they come right back.
Yeah. So, the idea was we're going to keep the Halloween name. And we're going to make a new story every single time. And we're going to use the Halloween name to get people in. And Halloween 3 Season of the Witch actually had a cool story, but everyone was pissed off about no Michael Myers. Oh, where's Michael Myers? So even though it's got a cold hit now, and even though there were Easter eggs in both houses for Halloween 3, I guess they're just sticking with Michael Myers and going straight to 4. Even though 4 had a cool story, so I'm not that bummed about it. Well, that's pretty much why Phenomenal Brandy. They're just, I think that they're going to play it safe and go for, what works.
Yep. And then, what year, what decade was Halloween 3 set in? Or at least released?
I would imagine it's somewhere in the 80s, but I think so was 4. 4 was also in the 80s.
All right. I know it was mid-70s for Halloween?
I think it was late. I think Halloween 1 came out in 77.
Oh, okay. Thought it was a little bit earlier than that.
77, 78, somewhere in there.
All right. So the rest of the sequels to point were in the 80s.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the theme this year is the 80s.
Yeah.
Even though it's not a nice strong theme like they have had in the past, like with 25 and 26. I don't know why they keep moving away from that. We really enjoy it. Like 25 was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, I like the theme. I like the overall 80s theme that they're going with. It's just, I like seeing a strong icon, but like,
yeah.
They could have gone with Michael for like a main icon. They could have gone with Freddy.
They are doing what they did the first year with The Walking Dead, or maybe it was the second year, where The Walking Dead was the main thing, and they put everything.
Oh yeah.
It just, I don't think it doesn't seem to work as well to me.
Phenomenal Brandy asked, is the Chucky Scare Zone based on a specific film or just a Child's Play series in general? You've seen more, so you could probably answer that a little bit.
Well, I never watched any of the movies, so I don't know.
Well, from what I've seen, Brandy, it's they have the good guy symbol with the original Chucky doll. The name of it is Chucky's Revenge, so I think they're going with Cult of Chucky, which is the newest movie.
I don't have the picture here. I have it on my video I released this morning.
Okay.
So.
But the good guy emblem with that red-haired boy, you see a lot of that, and then there's a stage, but we haven't seen that much more, so we're...
Well, I have, but that's public.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm guessing Child's Play in general, but with a heavy focus on the later years, I would imagine.
Okay, I was thinking maybe the origins, the one when he was still just a toy before but I don't know. I haven't watched any of the movies, so it could be. So sorry, between him watching the movies and not seeing the props, and me seeing the props and not seeing the movie, and
well, I'll say in the first movie, it gets to the point right away. There's a serial killer, and the movie starts off with him being chased by a cop, and he gets shot and he's wounded, but he knows voodoo. So he's in a toy store and he's in a good guy doll section. So, think of like, I'm doing a big 80s throwback. If you guys are old enough to remember My Buddy, which was a doll for boys. It was kind of like the answer to Kid Sister. I think it was the same company.
Actually, Kid Sister was the answer to My Buddy.
Oh, okay. Well, so it was kind of like a thing for boys. It was like a boy doll that you could be friends with. So he does a voodoo spell on one of the dolls, and his soul is transferred into the doll, and he becomes alive. Oh, and for no Brandy had a Kid Sister.
Oh.
So that's how the movie starts. And the cop thinks, okay, well, he's dead now. And, this doll the doll that the serial killer soul was into ends up being bought. And the doll starts terrorizing at first the kid and then the whole family. And that's Child's Play, the first movie.
So do they try to destroy him? Because I know that the images I always see of Chucky is him all stitched back together.
Yeah.
Do they try to destroy him and then he fixes himself and goes back on another terror rampage or something?
Well, he had some fans. One of them was Jennifer Tilly, or somebody who looks like Jennifer Tilly. So this hot lady, and she knew voodoo. But she had to read a book called Voodoo for Dummies because she wasn't quite as advanced as he was, and she found all the parts of the original Chucky, stitched them all together, and then did the spell. Welcome back, Dan. And that's how he came to life, and he was all stitched together.
So yeah, it was based partly on the My Buddy doll, but I was told that the origin story is that there's a doll, like a real life doll, that's supposed to be cursed, and anyone who insults this doll, like bad things happen to them. That's the story. So the creator of the Chucky series was inspired by that, but the actual physical doll itself was based around Raggedy Ann and My Buddy and a few other, kind of put it together so that whoever makes Hasbro probably made My Buddy. If they had literally just that doll going around stabbing people,
stabby.
The company who makes My Buddy might not, necessarily like that.
Yeah.
So they base it kind of off of that, but it's just the general toy that you might be able to find. Of course, you can find it everywhere now after the movie, but it wasn't a toy that really existed before then.
Yeah.
And what I am excited about is that Publix is, well, not Publix, but Target is starting to get their Halloween stuff, and Walgreens is starting to get their Halloween candy. So it's always a good time of the year when that happens.
Cool. Great.
And also, speaking of which, Halloween Horror Nights 28 tickets are now on sale at Publix.
Hooray!
We don't obviously need those anymore, but it was always... What is Stella doing? Stella, come here! It was always great to see when those tickets... Stella, there's water right there. When those tickets became available in Publix, because that means that Halloween Horror Nights is coming up really soon.
Yep.
And we both have... Well, you have more shifts than I do because you have to get ready, but I now have my first shift for Halloween Horror Nights. I'm going to be working on the first Saturday So if you come into Delancey for the Stay and Scream area, you'll see this guy helping people. Probably I might be scanning tickets, or I'm not sure yet. It'll change, but when I'm working Halloween Horror this year, that I'll be in one of those Stay and Scream areas. I might also be helping out with the annual pass holder. I'm not sure if there's a name for it, but basically, if you're an annual pass holder and you have a ticket for Halloween Horror Nights, obviously you already have admission to the park. Mm-hmm. You go to a special holding area for it's sort of like Stay and Scream, but I believe it's earlier than Stay and Scream. So, the Blimp House.
The Blimp House? What's the Blimp House?
I think Dan meant Blum.
Oh, the Blimp House.
Amityville Horror, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they've done Amityville Horror ever before.
I don't know. Isn't that part of Insidious?
No. Amityville goes back to the 80s as well, but they are doing Poltergeist, Dan. That's an old classic.
Yeah. So my monitor isn't working suddenly, just because that's what happens. So do you guys notice or enjoy the LEDs in the background? They're kind of subtle right now. I mean, I can make them a little more Monty Python if you'd like. And I actually tried to put them over here, but that also isn't really working unless I do that, and that's just a little obnoxious. The problem is they're very inexpensive, and and they're washed out very easily by the rest of the lights. So I don't know what to do about that, but kind of part of it is I wanted to light up the shelves, and maybe I should just stick to that.
Well, it's a little the purple with those blue characters like Sonic and Grover. It kind of blends in. If you did like maybe a different color,
I can make any color you like.
Oh, that green works.
Yeah,
like that red. The blinky is the most noticeable, obviously.
Yeah, this you can see, but the stuff on the side, I have two strips on the side, and you can barely see them. So,
but
that's the brightest. But then it just looks like light.
So far, everyone likes it.
I just was curious if anyone even noticed it until I brought it up. Because if I did this, that would be noticeable, but kind of distracting too. I would like to build more of an actual set, but with my Variety Paws channel still, actually this is my next note, is I still need 93 more subscriptions to my Variety Paws channel before I get monetization back, and then I'll have income to buy more stuff like LEDs and park tickets and new monitors and stuff like that. So if you haven't subscribed to that, please check that out. I'm guessing that if you're watching, you probably have already, so thank you for that.
I agree with you, Dan. I think Killer Clowns should have more space, but we'll see how it goes.
It is a kind of a small movie that wasn't, if I understand, is it more popular than I realized, or is it kind of culty?
It's pretty culty. It is. You have to be into horror movies for one thing. Then you've got to be into kind of comedy horror movies. Then you've got to like clowns.
Not to say that it's not any good. It's just they're not going to put that as like their main icon or in their the largest house if people aren't going to. Unfortunately, it has to be very commercially successful for them to put it something huge. So in a way, I'm surprised that it was in at all. But like I said, it seemed like it would be fitting for Halloween Horror Nights. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. What I think they're going to do, Dan, or what I'm hoping they'll do, is Trick or Treat was a zone last year. It had a nice big zone because it's a pretty well-known movie and it's fairly new. It's only like 10 years old. that is now a house. So
yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, it could. Killer Clowns could be a house next year, a few years down the road. I love the movie too. It's a great, awesome movie. I love the concept of it.
You know what they should do? Although I don't think they ever do. They should have a vendor in the scare zone selling cotton candy.
Oh, yes,
Killer
yes.
Clowns.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Well, except for they could sell the packaged ones, except for over at nice clown over at Seuss Landings. I think that's the only time that they have freshly made cotton candy at Universal Orlando.
Yeah.
But even if they just sell the prepackaged stuff, it would be very fitting.
Yeah. So Brandy got to see Killer Clowns and said it was an experience in itself. Yeah, that seems a good way to describe it. There's some really good scenes in that movie. I especially like the where the little clown comes up on his like little tricycle, and it ends up getting broken. So like he just like poof, punches the guy's head right off. And I love the clown using the sheriff as a puppet.
Cotton candy alcohol drinks.
I'm sure they might actually do that. That might actually be a thing. They do specialty drinks.
Might, maybe. You said, are you sad that it's not coming because Warner Brothers doing it on Halloween thing? I missed Amityville? Is that what it was?
I don't know. We're not aware of Warner Brothers doing a Halloween thing. What is?
Well, I know that they're doing their Halloween. I forget what it was. Like sort of a backlot tour. I saw that at Midsummer Scream. I always add night in there, but it isn't. I forget exactly what it was because it's in California and I'm not going to be able to go. So, what house is over there that isn't going to be part of Horror Nights because they're doing their own thing?
I think he said it. They might be doing an it house.
Maybe. Oh, okay.
Cool.
Ah, okay. That's why. Because last year it was rumored that we were going to have an it house, and then it didn't.
I see. I see.
You know, I think Kyle specifically asked, or somebody specifically asked, and they wouldn't answer it. Is like, well, now that they're having their own sort of Halloween event, what does that mean for the future of other theme parks having their IP? And they kind of like avoided the question. So,
well, they might not even know. Who knows what it means? Universal, having been around and is a big name, can mean a lot of things for other companies to want to work with them. Doing an event like this, I mean, it takes a lot.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Duchess.
Hi, Duchess. Me being kind of behind the scenes, but not like being like in the inner workings, I see that there's a lot that goes into this. Like there's show direction is huge. It's a huge thing on its own. Costuming is huge. The people fabricating the costumes, it's tremendous. It's actually kind of amazing what we do to get an event that lasts 35 nights off the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, there's I think last year there was 800 scare actors to do the event, and now who knows what that number is. We might be pushing 850.
What I wish is that they could still have a Pennywise house in Orlando, because people are probably going to be going to both the Warner Brothers thing and Universal Orlando, at least not very many.
Mm-hmm.
I could see them not having it at Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood, because those two are way closer together and they can compete. And of course, if it's their own intellectual property, then why wouldn't they want to do it themselves? But it seems like it wouldn't compete too much with Orlando, but that's not what they want to do.
Yeah. So Duchess noticed the background thing and says that, and she likes the premise T-shirt.
Oh, cool.
Thank you, Duchess.
Thank you, Primus.
I got to see these guys live like a year ago or maybe like 8 months ago. And this is actually one of their old T-shirt designs that I never got to have. I mean, this is like Frizzle Fry era, which is like their first album.
Curly Fries.
Yeah, Curly Fries. So I saw that on the merch rack. I was like, I gotta get that. I have to. And the set was really good. It was a bunch of hits, and then they did all of
A bunch of misses.
the Desaturated 7, and then they did a little more hits for an encore, and then that was the show. So a good 2-hour show.
Yeah, we've heard that Bill and Ted was canceled because the third movie was coming out, and I always thought that like if they ever did have a third movie, that it would make Bill and Ted at Universal even better, because then people would be more, well, even if they haven't heard of Bill and Ted somehow, they would be introduced to it, but it would just be in people's conscience again. But then somehow it translated to not happening.
Yeah. We've also heard several other things that why Bill and Ted is gone. Who knows what the actual reason is?
But I know that the official answer was something about it wanting to keep things fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That sounds like PR, but it might be.
Who knows?
We really don't know.
Yeah.
I know that there is one team member who was absolutely 100% positive that it's coming back. I would like to believe him, but I don't.
Yeah. And yes, Phenomenal Brandy, they were at Hard Rock Live. Yeah.
I was thinking Hard Rock, like the hotel. I'm like, no. And it's like, oh, right. Because they do have something called Velvet Sessions, where some decently sized names come and actually perform in the lobby, which must be very difficult when people are trying to check in, because there's a concert volume right there in the lobby.
Yeah.
So
I've never been to a Velvet Sessions, but I'd like to someday.
Yeah, I was there for the setup for one, and that's about it, because I had to work that day.
Yeah.
Once again, just want to remind everyone of the official OrlanDave Gift Shop. I have put this shirt in there, updated it. I'm going to try. I actually ordered a shirt like this, but with the newer wavy play button, and I'm going to try to do the watery tie-dye, and just because I sent them a message asking them if I used fabric dye, would it actually dye the graphics, and they never replied. So I guess I'm going to find out, and hopefully it will go well. Because if not, that's going to make it very difficult to do this. But this could be something I offer for one of the higher levels of my Patreon. I'm just trying to get some ideas for that, something that's sustainable.
I think that's a good idea. Do a shirt for the higher levels. That sounds a good idea.
And Teespring did actually get back to me. I'm thinking about. I'm going to open a Teespring account as well, because unlike the store I'm with right now, they will print a design on this side and a design on that side, because these shirts are supposed to have something on the front and the back. They will print on the sleeve, this sleeve, the back, or the front, but only one of them, which is stupid. But it's supposed to be designed on the front, and the back says, please exit through the gift shop.
Yeah.
But right now I can't do that. But I'm hoping to do that. I know that I mentioned before that the channels that have over 10,000 subscribers can actually put the merchandise stuff directly under the video, which would be really nice. But right now I'm a little over 1,500, so that's not going to happen anytime soon. But hopefully over time they'll lower the minimum for that. But either way, I'm going to make an account with them. There's a second option. I don't know what the pricing is going to be, but it'd be nice to have that. Also, I'm thinking about making a shirt that'll be only available to patrons as a higher level bonus that would have this shirt, the design on the front, this one, or any of the others I have. And on the back, it would say something like official sponsor. So that's something I can't do with, I don't know, I can't remember the name of the company I'm selling shirts through right now. But like I said, they don't do that. There also is another one. I can't seem to contact the artist who worked on this and worked on the original these, because I have a picture that I made at Disney of the test track, where over time I sat in every single seat in the attraction, and I had a photo of it, and I just in Photoshop worked around and made it look like I was sitting in all 6 seats all at the same time. And I want to make the idea was to make that into a shirt, but I didn't want to spend the money yet, because so far I've only sold one shirt, and now I was like, well, maybe I'll finally go ahead and make that shirt. Now I can't find the artist.
They might have left. They might have left. Who knows?
But there's a lot of people who are on Fiverr, but aren't necessarily making the quality or style that I want. And I like the style, and it's unfortunate if I can't get any more shirts in that.
Yeah.
In this look.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Do you think Blizzard Beach needs
new rides?
Rides. Well, I think they finally reopened one of the slides that had been closed for a long, long time. But Disney has plenty of space to expand them. I don't know if they're going to. I know I've been meaning to go back to Blizzard Beach now that I have an annual water pass again. But I've just been really busy with work, and I've shooting some stuff, and the Bach Tower Gardens will be coming out very soon. But I know I'm going to be very, very busy in at least the beginning of September, so I've been doing a lot of editing and exporting, and I have a bunch of videos ready to go, just so it doesn't just drop off.
Yeah.
But it's very time consuming as well.
I always think it's kind of sad when attractions go away. Now, to me, I don't think I've ever been at Blizzard Beach, so to me, it's all new. But to veterans, especially if you've been there over the years, you may have your old favorites, but then you're like, oh man, I wish this was something new and cool. But
they did Typhoon Lagoon. They added Misadventure Falls, which is an attraction in a space that had nothing.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of like when they put in Reign of Kong.
Yeah.
Skull Island, Reign of Kong. That was back of house. So that was something that was added, but it's a bit of a balance, because when I went to what was then MGM Studios back in '89, I then went back to what was still called MGM Studios in '99, and I walked through the whole park, and it's like, well, everything looks the same. Well, that's not fun.
Yeah, but you hadn't been there in 10 years.
That's the point. I was not there for 10 years, and nothing had changed. I thought by 10 years, something would have changed. I'm like, oh, well, I already saw all this stuff.
Yeah.
I came back hoping there was something new to see. But when they do add something new, like Eighth Voyage of Sinbad is going to be something else. We don't know what. It's like you can't change everything and change nothing at the same time. You have to pick one.
Yeah.
And when people go to a park a bunch of times and they see the same stuff over and over again, they're less likely to go back. And people will go back, then they can't afford to change things. So
yeah, it's always tricky.
Yeah. But I think those two water parks haven't changed much for a long time. What I was kind of bummed is they still have the upside down ship at Typhoon Lagoon, but you can't walk through it anymore. I don't know why they changed that. That was pretty neat. But what else is happening today? Brian's mom is coming.
Yeah. My mom's coming into town later on.
So I'm not sure if we're going to be... We might do some park videos with her. We'll see. Fortunately, I have a whole lot of work coming up this month. Unfortunately, some of those days fall in the time when she's in town, so I'm not going to be able to join them as much as I'd like to, but being freelance work and getting paid a lot better than I do otherwise, it's hard to say no.
Yeah.
So it's like, do I want to hang out in the parks with you guys? Yeah. Do I want to make money to pay my bills? Yeah.
So, I mean, you'll see us for a little while, so it'll be good.
She's praying. Okay. Oh, a lot of times I will see videos that have ad breaks during them, especially longer videos. I'll be watching it and suddenly there's an ad break. Actually, there's a button right here. If I just saw this today, that if I wanted to, right now, I can lose my mouse. Oh, it's not active. That's weird. It looked like if I wanted to, I could just insert an ad right now, but I'm not going to. So my question is, for me, personally, I kind of get annoyed, like, oh, crap. My rule probably shouldn't be, but is every video, they get one ad click. And I find the other ones kind of annoying, and I skip the rest of them. Now, that's something, if you have YouTube Premium, which used to be called YouTube Red, you don't see any of the ads.
Yeah.
And the creator gets revenue based on watch time.
Mm-hmm.
But, so that's a long way of saying, how do you guys feel about multiple ads in a video? I mean, maybe I'm somewhat alone on that. If I tried putting an ad break in the middle of my longer videos, would that be annoying, or would you not mind that?
All right. Well, do you want my opinion on it?
All right.
So
I was asking them, but but you too.
Yeah. So I watch a lot of YouTube, and there's of course the front ad, sometimes the back end ad, and like you said, like sometimes there's the mid roll where like right in the middle. Sometimes what I find annoying is when there's like 4 or 5 of them. Now look, to make money on the internet and to make money on YouTube, you gotta have ads. It's part of it.
Yeah. Or pay for a premium service like YouTube.
Sure. I click ads. I do. Especially even if it's like somebody I don't really like. I'm like, you know what? They live in New York City. They need some money. Click.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm with the whole ad thing. I am. But there is a limit. Like when you have, let's say, 4 ads in a 30-minute video, that's a little much. Okay? So I wouldn't mind putting 1 mid-roll in. I think that's okay. Yeah. If you want my opinion, put like 1 mid-roll, maybe 2.
Yeah. I have to go and look at the controls. I forget exactly how much control I have over it, if it's just like throw a bunch of ads in or don't. But I think it might be 1 mid-roll. I'll look. But
our chat seems to have a pretty positive opinion.
Okay, cool.
Dan says it would not be annoying. Fernando Brand says she doesn't mind the ads, especially if it helps you.
Yeah. And it only helps if you click on them, unfortunately.
Yeah, what you got to do, guys, if you don't know, click the little link for the ad, and I close the tab right away.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
I let it load, and but then I close it because usually it's not something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
What I think is kind of annoying is that once you click on the ad and you close the window, you go back to the ad before the video what you're watching, it should just skip the rest of the ad because you've already clicked on it, and if you're not interested, then why watch the rest of the ad? And if you are interested, you've already looked at their website, and the point of the ad is to get you to visit whatever URL it is. And if you clicked on it, then you already followed through, so they're selling you on something you've already done. So
no, because you have to either watch the ad or skip it. Now, you know this better. When there's like a 3-minute ad,
yeah,
you get more money if I make it all the way to that 3-minute ad, all the way through, right?
I've heard that, but from from what I see, it's either click on or you don't.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But I've heard that, so I'm not quite sure about that.
Well, because...
But 3-minute ads, that's when I kind of say, I know I should be supporting you, but I'm not. When your ad is potentially longer than your videos, like, come on, really?
Yeah.
If it's short enough, maybe I'll go do something else. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I think that if you click on an ad, you shouldn't have to watch the rest of the ad, especially because a lot of the times when you click on the ad, you go to the same video. So you're going to watch it twice. But...
yeah. But, no. So we've got a pretty good consensus on ads. I say you could put a mid-roll in.
Yeah. All right, cool. And also, what helps me even more is if you shop at Amazon, I have my affiliate link in all my videos. And click on it, buy something that you're going to buy anyway. And it doesn't add anything to the cost, but the amount I get kind of varies, goes all over the place. But when I get enough money through Amazon, sometimes I'll buy something that's channel related. Like I wanted to get some more lighting, and some of that, sometimes I can buy that on Amazon, and it comes through as a gift card, as gift credit. So I can just spend the money directly on the channel. So anytime you want to go to Amazon, just look for one of my videos or maybe bookmark it or something. So that helps, and that's pretty much free. And of course, subscribing and sharing and all that helps as well. Yeah. And I'm glad you like commenting. I always like to reply as well. And actually, I think what helps is I think all these chat comments count as just comments to the channel, so that even that helps.
Yeah.
Still thinking about the future of Dave and Brian Live. I'm thinking about possibly, I know I've been saying this, but I'm thinking about maybe having it on my Mighty Paws channel, which I would change the name, but it's too late to do that. But one of the things I'd like to do is maybe not necessarily talk about all the theme park stuff, maybe some other things throw in every once in a while.
Well, I would like to see... and I've tried giving you the idea, little unique places, like maybe a food place that's not really around anywhere else.
But that's still Orlando stuff.
But it's not a theme park.
But still, I mean, something that's not related at all to that.
Oh.
But, like, I was thinking about possibly trying, like, live product demo reviews and things like that. Like, the things that aren't related to the OrlanDave channel. That way, it would be like, why are you doing product review on OrlanDave? Because Mighty Paws is more of everything.
Okay.
Part of it is the theme parks, because we have videos up there from Halloween Horror Nights and Howl-O-Scream and stuff like that. But just to be able to expand what we do, and also going back to the Patreon, this could be an opportunity for a higher level if you're interested, because we could do like a pre-recorded Skype interview.
Oh, sure.
Where like you can be on the show as a guest. I've already been talking to Andrew actually since last year, Andrew R. Davis, about being on the show. We just couldn't figure out. He had an issue last year where he stopped making videos for a while, and by the time he was ready to make videos again, it was too late for Halloween Horror Nights, he said. But we really wanted to go out to Lake Eola and do a collab video where all three of us would be paddling around on the Swan boat, which was the area where Jack first appeared in Orlando. But unfortunately, that never happened.
It's actually a funny story if you guys look into it. Jack the Clown from Horror Nights showed up at Lake Eola, full costume, fully in character, rented one of those swamp boats, was paddling around, feeding the ducks, and then they went to like one of the news centers, the buildings where like the news broadcast from, and in character asked to see like one of the top people, and they're like, no.
If, just so you understand, this was at least a year before Jack was introduced to the public. So,
Yeah.
So it wasn't like people were like, oh, it's Jack the Clown. Like nobody outside of Universal Creative knew who Jack the Clown is.
They just saw some dude in like a crazy clown costume.
And it was like May, I think. Or
Yeah, it was like summertime, so it wasn't even close to. They were getting ready for it, but like nobody was like expecting like some clown to show up and like, hey, why don't you come to Universal Orlando this Halloween? You know, like
it wasn't even close to Halloween.
Yeah,
I think didn't he say that he had to deal with the police a bunch of times because of what he was doing?
I think the way the performer tells it, they went there and he talked to the lobby, and then somebody actually high up came out for an interview, and he kind of bum rushed the interview, and like she was gonna say, "Oh, you come on in, and we'll talk." He kind of bum rushed and said, "Oh, hi, why don't you come to Universal Orlando this Halloween? We're gonna throw a party." And she's like, "Yeah, okay, you go over there." Police were called. That's what we have heard, that police were called, but they might have shown up after they left. Or maybe somebody saw like them on the phone and were like, "Yeah, guys, it's time to go."
Yeah.
But like, it's just one of those funny stories and like legends about like Jack the Clown and Horror Nights history.
All right, so, and I guess you probably saw my Ouija class I got at Spirit Halloween. Which I need to go back to because there are a few things that weren't set up yet. So, but we'll get to that at some point.
Yeah.
And what? Shh. So, any other questions or comments in the comment section? I can never tell how many people are actually watching. I don't know where to find that stat.
It should be right on that side there.
But I can tell how many people are active.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It's somewhere around there. Like it says a certain number viewing.
That's weird. It says live up down here and then offline up there.
Yeah, but I think we're live.
Obviously, we're live.
Oh, Dan says it's 4 watching right now.
Oh, I was hoping it'd be a lot more than that.
I think it's easier for viewers to see the. Merle, be quiet. Shh.
So, not that it's easy for us, but does Saturday work any better or worse for people? This is more of a comment section thing for when people are watching later who couldn't make it. What day, what time works best for you wherever you are watching. So, if you're not watching it live, please leave that in the comment section below, and we'll obviously we want to be on. Would you stop it? Based on our schedule, but also when it's convenient for most of you to watch. Mm-hmm. We work on Saturdays and Sundays all the time, so a weekend is kind of meaningless to us.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Unless that's all my notes. I don't know if you have anything more you need to say.
Just a reminder, guys. I'm in Slaughter Cinema, so if you'd like to see me, please come on in.
Yeah. And we will. Well, you are working on. Well, not that it matters for any of you. You are working on team member preview.
Yeah.
I am not, which means that over on when we do the review of Halloween Horror Nights, we're both going to be going on the opening day. And
Yeah.
I'm going to be working that day, so I'm going to be a little bit late. But because I can go to the team member preview, I'll already have gone through everything, and we'll have a good start. And then you will have time. You're going to go to the annual pass holder area, I'm guessing.
Yeah, that seems a good idea.
So you'll get a good start. So by the time we finally meet up, we'll both have an idea of the event, and this is number 8 for us, going to Halloween Horror Nights, reviewing it. So we, know all we know a few tricks. So by the time Halloween Horror Nights, the first opening day closes, we should have gone through, I think, hopefully everything. And we'll have to buy the 10 o'clock after 10 p.m. express if we're like way behind. But based on last year, we shouldn't be too busy.
Oh, I forgot to mention, guys, if you come through my house to see me, my scare is actually kind of easy to miss.
Yeah. We'll give you more details about it when the house is open. But it's not going to be you walk right into him like last year, unfortunately.
Yeah. I had a really good scare last year.
Yeah. A lot of people remember that one.
Yeah.
But, can't have everything. But the house, the tent that he's in was, although I've never been a scare actor, is the same tent out of 10, is the same tent that I worked in my first year and I rescued in last year, so that's cool.
Stuart asked, how much is the After 10 Express? It
varies.
I believe it's at least half price, guys.
Yeah. The problem is that a lot of people get them, so they're not as effective. And it's only after 10 p.m. on nights where they close at 1 a.m. And it's after 11 p.m. 11 p.m. on nights it closes at 2 a.m. Mm-hmm. So once again, I will be collecting event guides and then saying I'm going to do something about it, and then just stacking them over there and not touching them again. So
I occasionally look through my old maps.
The point was supposed to be to have giveaways, and have like a Halloween Horror Nights pack. Where it used to be that it was a 12 a.m. close, 1 a.m. close, and 2 a.m. close. But a few years ago, they cut the 12 a.m. and it's only 1 a.m. So that's why the two maps. I don't know if I have them right now, but you'll see there's two different event guides. One is for the nights that close at 1 a.m. and one's for 2 a.m. So it would be at least one copy of each, and then maybe something else like a pin or something, whatever. Yeah. But leave a comment below the section below if you aren't watching this live for more ideas of what I can do to hopefully get a few more patrons. So with that, I believe we are finished for today. I'm not sure when we're going to be live again, because once Horror Nights starts, we're both going to be pretty busy. So, but I can tell you that as long as Horror Nights is going on, what night did you get off for? You were thinking for Hollowscream? Is that
the 21st?
But what day of the week?
I think that's a Friday. I'm not sure.
All right, so I think maybe it was. So, in other words, until Horror Nights is over, this is, I think, the last time that you'll be available on a Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Even though you go in late, you don't get home until sometimes 3 a.m. So, yeah. I mean, it's possible, but you go in earlier than I do. You probably go in at 4 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So yeah, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
So. Probably not. The cinematic spectacular didn't go on during Horror Nights, so most likely it isn't going to be. The cinematic celebration won't be during Horror Nights as well.
Historically, even when I think the park closes at 5 o'clock, even when there's not a Horror Nights.
Oh, it does. Oh, you mean
like on a Monday night? Universal still closes at 5, even though there's not Horror Nights that night.
It doesn't close at 5. I don't think it ever closes at 5.
For Horror Nights?
For Horror Nights, yeah. I thought you said when it isn't Horror Nights.
Well, even historically, even when there's not a Horror Nights night, it still doesn't happen. So,
okay, yeah. It might happen on off nights, but that hasn't happened before.
Possibly.
But it seems to just shut down for it. But being it's so new, it's hard to say. But
yeah.
It's not going to happen during Horror Nights, I'm sure, because it would be too disruptive, and there's too many people in houses, and then to get everyone gathered up in one spot, and then people would be going through houses. I don't see it happening. I would like to see them use the water screens to show something Halloween event related, and just leave that Central Park area open. So like movie clips or like, I don't know, something like that. Just something cool, or just project something. But I forgot. It's not going to be happening during Horror Nights, because the projection mapping that's used in the show is going to be used for Killer Clowns.
Oh, that's right. That is correct. Yes.
So yeah, it can't happen during Horror Nights. But the nights where there's in Horror Nights, we don't know, but that's a lot fewer this year because of the 2 extra days. But there are no Mondays, and I believe there are no Tuesdays this year for Horror Nights. So, but the rest, a lot of Wednesdays and Thursdays. Are there any Thursdays that aren't an event night? I don't think there are.
Maybe towards the end.
No,
actually, I think
towards the end there'd be more.
Actually, I think every Thursday is an event night.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, basically, we'll have to see. So, so thanks for watching this video, and if you are watching it later, that's cool too. And again, let me know what works best for you, and we'll try to work with our schedule.
Cool.
So.
Bye, guys.